Yes, the fucking tourists are going. The fucking tourists are going. They were lurking around me for about the last video, so like 20, 25 minutes, and they're fucking going. And I just did nonchalance. They started walking this way, and I started taking off my shoes, like as if to say, I'm gonna be here for a while, because I am. Because I'm gonna take a piss, and I'm gonna enjoy the early part of my day. I don't like the word morning because it is a homophone of something you do when you're grieved. And the sick thing, of course, is that you look at all these YouTube videos of conspiracy theories, dark, awful stuff, right? Going on in the world. But nobody ever talks about grieving. Just like they never talk about their childhood, because they're all demonic. They never talk about grief. I noticed that all my life, all the people I knew, they never talked about grief, because they're psychotic. How could there be no grief in this world? If you don't believe that the world is just exactly the way it's supposed to be, how could you think there's not grief in the world? And I've seen grief, but what you also get, like repressed homosexuality, you get repressed grief, which is also like repressed homosexuality, and a lot of aggression I find towards men. A lot of women with repressed grief are very control oriented towards men, but very weak. So when they have the opportunity, they'll be very dominant, and when they don't, they can be very submissive. I've seen, profiles. I've studied profile like this. People who just seem like they were probably geeks when they were young and stuff, but they found a way to approach life in situations that under various circumstances they can be as dominant as they want to be. It's kind of the prototypical police officer, right? They don't know they're doing this. I've lived around psychotics. They never know what they're doing. Don't get me wrong. They have no idea what they're doing. It's up to you to notice what they're doing, right? I can tell that most young males and females are trained to be very similar, compatible personality type to a police officer, to the average police officer. That's just how they're training everyone. Only some of whom will ever basically become police officers, but they don't need to because it's all very compatible. That same police officer, when he's in the car and he gets pulled over, he'll be very submissive, just like most people. And then when he comes back and he's the one pulling someone over, he can be extremely dominant. And so there's a weak, strong factor, kind of an alloy in the mind. This extreme weakness, this repressed grief and homosexuality, and then this, what's taken to be strength, is what society cloaks and masks enough, just like they mask their feminine trannies and their masculine trannies, to make it look like strength. But it's just dressed up cowardice. So if you're a police officer, basically your job as a priest of the world is to make weakness, cowardice, and psychopathy look good. Just like a total faggot. You're a faggot for the system. You're a Yule. You're a soul Yule. You're a sacrificial fire. You're a fashionable waif. A fashionable, expendable pawn. You think your boss weeps for your family when you get shot in the line of duty? And police know that. They can take their frustration out on people who complain about the police or conspiracy theorists or the like. But the fact is, they know that their bosses' bosses don't give a fuck about them or their families. They know that. They fucking know it. They live with that shit. That's called being a man in their world. You can hear the fucking voice of that demonic child going. A good example of this policing thing is I was at a river, way up the river, very remote, very rural area, a place that a lot of people don't even know about. And we were 3 or 4 strangers, adults. They just happened to be laying around on the riverside. One man came along and said, "Do you mind if I take off my clothes? All my clothes." Now, I think that's pretty weird myself, but we all said yes, and he did. And then down the river, about 150 feet and up a bit of a hill, a woman had some children who were trying to use the swing, and she yelled over him and said, "Put on your clothes, you pervert." Right? What the fuck are you doing? And he yelled back, "Look, I asked everybody here. I'm happy to put my clothes on if you don't like it," which is what he did. Now, what do you think? An idiot, right? Well, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna take your clothes off, go to some place that everyone knows is for that purpose, or just do what I do and find some place remote. Like, there's so many places you can go and take your clothes off, no one's ever gonna see you. Well, people. I know this really fat, ugly cunt. And she's totally out of shape. And every time I see her, she wants to have sex with me. And she's Christian, but she says she's not Christian. That she's part of an ancient order, and it's totally non-religious. And she believes that Jesus was burned on a cross, and the planets are fallen angels, and she believes in the 10 Commandments. And get this, she's changed the name Yahweh to Yahuwah, and Yahuwah is the proper name. So now all the other stuff is shit. Jesus is evil, now it's Yeshua. And Yeshua is totally different than Jesus. So she's basically invented her own religion. I mean, no literary background, no comparative religion background, never looked into any other religion but Christianity, but thinks that she's got it, Can't think straight, has no sexual boundaries, mentors and models totally contradictory and psychotic behavior for her daughter, and has to go to court for defacing a local business. I mean, because she's keeping up some sort of internecine hatred with the local business owner, another female, psychotic. Isn't that funny? I just find that fucking hilarious. I spent a few days with this woman over a course of a few months, and she's turned some of her life around. But she's still an ugly, psychotic cunt. That will never change. And that's what I deal with in the realm of women. Otherwise, I'm starting my winter walk. Sun's coming up. That's nice. Wow, look, you want to see the black chemtrail? Perfect day for it. Show you the black chemtrail. Look at that shit. You got the one chemtrail coming in, then a parallel chemtrail. That's some black shit, man. That's some black shit. That's some Black Sabbath type of shit, man. Wow. Well, the sun is another beautiful being of our day. I'll probably go across the river, go to my pentagram again. Wow, might be time for a swim soon. It's gonna be sunny like that. Or it'll be time for me to move on. We'll see. We'll see what we shall see. As anyone can see, I don't have any claim on the popular. I have no interest in the popular. Oh, I'd rather just be a ugly middle-aged dude who lives with his mother yawning on video. I get to see bees and winds. That's my main thing out here. I've had about 3 YouTube channels now with a total of about 7,000 videos, and YouTube doesn't like it. YouTube or their algorithms don't like it, so they delete them. Talked about a super mold falling from the sky, just a theory I'm running up. There seems to be something about man's evil that isn't entirely of man. And if it isn't, I would say it's of a mold or a bacteria that's fallen from the sky. And the sun can help us clear it up. But right now, that mold is getting people to spray chemtrails. And to saturate the world with very electrically advantageous plasma and the like, so that they can have more control over people's minds. They have a certain part of the mind where I think this mold is imprisoned and able to exert a lot of control, the subconscious, and wants to escape. Just like alien coming out of somebody's body, but it can't escape. It wants to go to space, it wants to go anywhere, it wants us to go to space. I don't know if it knows what it wants. It just wants to go away and as far away from possible and keep our minds as dim and diluted as possible. It doesn't want the animal of our mind to have control of itself and its world. Or at least not so much that the mold can't continue to exist. So it's the mold or us, essentially. Just like a cold virus. I see two-leggeds down the river, and it always strikes fear in me. They're the only predator that I encounter that I'm truly concerned about. People are so weak. I told people that I encountered a cougar, and almost to a person I told, they're just so weak-minded. I could never tell them the full story. You could see they had no taste for hearing about my first encounter with a cougar and the ceremony that I was doing. I tell them the ceremony. And, they don't get it. That makes me actually want to go back there. There's a wonderful place down the beach. Maybe I should go there today. I should leave here and go there. It makes me think about it. But it depends where the tide is at. Winter is about purification for me. I've confronted the female energy of the earth and the female energy of people this summer. through the dog star, and of pure feminine energy. Othila, the pentagram, Wunjo, the pentacle. Number 5. The earth, the sun, the moon, Venus, the stars. Drawing joy out of the darkness. Confronting the darkness and weaving the measures of a home whose hearth is filled with the fire. Knowledge. Just like our body is filled with the fire of knowledge, and our body is wrought from the darkness and communes like the stars with all that is illuminating. For should not all that is illuminated by the sun be one day illuminating? Are we not? If we do not allow ourselves to be illuminated by one another, what shall become of us? If no one is illuminated by me, what good is my illumination? But that perhaps the sun may give forth some of it and fructify the earth and provide me happy days and pathways of peace through an evil world. So when I see the two-legged, I see my only natural predator. And I tell them my best stories, I tell them my strongest stories, and all I get is weakness in return. Weakness. It's neat that, talking about the cougar, I got approached by a cat today. It was nice. He was kind of following me for a while, just in a friendly way, until we got to the edge of his territory. So I learned something about the cat and the cougar. The cougar and the cat. Time to finish my chicken, I think. Planes crash. Planes crash. I talked to someone I knew who works on planes once, a female, and I said, aren't there a lot of things that can go wrong on a plane? She said, no, not really. She said, everything has a triple redundancy system. She was very confident in that. Now, she was an airline mechanic, so you might forgive her a little bravado. Maybe she's got a clean record and all that. But then you look at the planes that go down. None of those problems ever had triple redundancy systems, whether it be human error or a combination of human and mechanical error, right? And often very stupid things. Planes do go down. They still do. They still crash. That means that when you get on a plane, there is no guarantee that you won't die. There is no guarantee that a part will not fail. Right? Fans, rotors, they fail and they break. And when they're starting to break, or if they have any weakness that they're supposed to detect during their service life, it can escape detection and has escaped detection and caused massive loss of life. I love how in one episode of Plane Disasters, they actually told you that this one country was sending arms to Israel. They just mentioned as a matter of fact. It's so funny. How many countries could you put in a movie saying, oh yeah, we're sending them guns? And start a campaign, send weapons to Israel. No, come on. No, hot and cold out here. Pants down. I don't really have any plans today. I just sort of came here, plopped myself down, and thought, let's see what happens. I might put my shoes back on. Just get a little saturated with evil in my life, and then it's like, okay. I don't trust women anymore. I used to. And I've never been paid back for my trust. Not once. I'm just such a stupid fucking idiot. I know there's other MGTOWs out there going, yeah, yeah. It's been slow in coming, but I think I'm moving definitely into the MGTOW category. I don't trust women anymore. I don't trust a lot of men either, but I certainly don't fucking trust women. They're more important not to trust because they can do more damage. Men are more likely to trust them. I'm more likely to go into a woman's home than a man's home, you know? And they're never worth it. They're never fucking worth it. Ever. In my whole life. They always fucking sexually assault me. They always fucking sexually assault me. Every fucking time. So much that I'm sure anyone listening to this is probably like, oh, we don't believe you. What do you mean every time? That's fucking disgusting. You're an idiot. Well, don't believe me. That's fine. Nobody ever does. Not the women I talk to, not the women who sexually assault me. They never fucking believe it. So, goodbye, women. I dare say, I think, I was walking through the park the other day. Some fucking slimy-faced, ugly cunt just starts staring at me. Little twinkle in her eyes, you know? Fuck me. These fucking leather-faced women who spend half the year in Arizona. Oh, they fucking love me. And I just, as far as responding to sexual harassment, I think I just trust the moment. You know, I don't do much. I don't say much. And in a sense, nothing really needs to be said. It's all perfectly obvious, you know, that they're cunts, right? They're just desperate cunts. You know, they should make a reality show called Desperate Cunts, and they could cast any woman on earth. Open casting, anyone on earth, desperate cunts who believe anything. And they fucking send their children into fucking hell every day, and they believe every fucking thing. They're fucking cunts. They're fucking having the spawn of the future. They're fucking cunts. They don't fucking know how evil they are. They're fucking cunts. MGTOW. Satanic MGTOW. Maybe that's what I should tell people I am, and they'll just get the picture eventually. I'm a satanic MGTOW. No one believes I'm a Satanist. I told this one chick that I was a Satanist over and over. She kept sending me Christian fucking propaganda. And I'm like, sorry. Don't think you understood what I was... I utterly hate everything Jewish and Christian and Islam in the world. I hate it. It's the job of every child's mind to hate those things, like it hates vomit. Right? Like, I hate vomit, I hate violence, and I hate these fucking religions. Wow, the sun keeps going in and out. Wow. There's a homosexual man, repressed homosexual married. Comes around here, is always very happy to see me. He's just a fucking slob. I haven't seen you around for a while. Gets a glint in his eye. Just a fucking faggot. Just a fucking faggot. What's really neat about them is they tell me about their careers. They tell me about their stupid things they do in their mind, their stupid demonic problems, gluttony, what have you. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Their dogs suffer from all kinds of things. They have all these awful stories about their friends suffering and dying. They never have anything brilliant to say about anything. Never any essential manliness. No brilliance, no strength, no nothing. Just that weak, faggoty energy. You know, take off my jacket. Maybe the sun will go away. It's just the point where your life goes the way it goes, I guess.
And